If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my.
I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What up, D-Gens? It's J.A. Cavalier, your favorite capper's favorite capper, back with another episode of Player Performance. This is the NBA edition for October 23rd. We're going to get you locked, loaded, ready to roll the entire NBA slate. I think we have 8 games on the tap for tonight, 10 games total, but we're going to go through 8 of them. I'm going to be joined by the Shark, Junior Brown, Luke Shuey, and Coach Rick Bowe. Not a great start to the season for me yesterday, but full transparency, I started 0-3 last year on opening night. And then what did I do? I just went 63% for the rest of the season, making over 300,000, stacking up win on top of win on top of win. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Followers, you guys already know. Drop a like, drop a comment. We go through all the comments. Appreciation is always appreciated. We're going to get you locked here tonight, Wednesday, October 23rd, NBA. Let's go. Pacers laying 4.5. The total here is at 234. Tyrese Halliburton, dog. The Pacers guard is having himself a generational summer. He won a gold medal. Then he signed a Supermax contract. Tweeted out a video shirtless, 4 a.m., congratulating 50 Cent on his Vegas residency. In the video, of course, standing behind him, 3 women. Who knows? After this summer, Halliburton might be a top 10. If not, I mean, if you're keeping up with these numbers, he might be top 10 all time. Shark, I know that you're on the Pistons. Did I go to sleep, wake up, and all of a sudden Detroit has a basketball team again? And it's not just you. Coach likes the Pistons. Junior likes the Pistons. Sharp Money also on the Pistons. People I trust all on Detroit, but I don't get it. Make your case.
Well, you said it. Tyrese Halliburton hanging out with women a couple nights ago. I don't know if his focus is going to be on this
distraction.
and they go to New York City after tonight's game for a massive rematch of a 7-game series against the Knicks in the second round last year. So I think this takes on massive look-ahead environment. And you talk about the Pistons. Yes, they are rebooted. And if you go back to last year, books kind of like Detroit last year. They had their total set around 27.5 wins, and they really failed at the highest level with Monty Williams. And you talk about Monty Williams, bit of a pedestrian head coach with Phoenix, softer personality, definitely not the type of guy that's going to take on this really young core and move them to the next level. 14-68 to finish the season. Books like them again, setting the line in the futures market at 26.5, and you're getting a new coach. JB Bickerstaff, moving across this division from Cleveland to Detroit, knows the Pacers well. And this is a guy that went 143 and 103 the last 3 seasons with Cleveland. And talk about roster rebooting. This is a really good young core with Detroit. Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey. These are top picks. These are dogs. And now you put some veteran players who will make this roster a lot more disciplined and fluid. Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Simone Fontecchio. And within this matchup, it's really good stuff to buy. Indiana hammered Detroit last year 4 times by margin, 4-0 ATS, all lines hovering between 7.5 and 12.5. So you get blowout results on blowout lines, and now you get the opener at 5.5 steam down to 4.5. It's everything I said. It's the sharpest play on the board. It's a look ahead for Indiana. Tyrese will be somewhere with the women in New York City on Friday. Buy Detroit tonight at plus 4.5, 5, and let's cash this one.
First, Tobias Harris is a fucking bum, but I'm going to say this. I just want to fade the Pistons in some way, and truthfully I am. But the line drop is an indication of sharp money back in Detroit. And I know who and I know why. I don't care. I cannot co-sign the play itself. I'm actually on the Pacers over 119.5. And that's just because you got Bickerstaff, running the show. Don't expect miracles in Detroit. The offense was fucking bad. That's going to improve with Cade, right? But the defense ranked 26th in the league. And Cade doesn't move that needle. The Pacers are going to drain threes with the best of them in the league. Pacers also own this series, own the Pistons. As you said, swept the series last year, covering in all 4 games. Only one of those games was not by double digits. And they averaged 122 points per game in those 4 games last year. I like this spot for the Pacers offense, but we all know the Pacers don't get many stops. So if the Pistons are better offensively, then you know what? They could sneak inside that number, maybe even win this game. I don't care if they win 126 to 122. I'm fine with that. Give me the Pacers team total over. Give Shark the Pistons plus the 4.5. All right, the Nets are at the Hawks. Hawks are laying 7.5. Totals at 221.5. Coach, you like the Hawks tonight. Tell us more.
Well, I'll preface this by saying that it's football season. Okay. However, right? Yeah, the Nets. What are they doing? I mean, they dump Bridges, and then now they got a head coach who's a first-time head coach. I don't know. Did they really do anything that makes them any better than last year? I don't know. I think the Hawks have a better roster. It is football season, by the way. I think I mentioned that. But the Hawks have the better roster, and they got a guy named Trae Young. So I like Trae. You got DeAndre Hunter. Clint Capella's healthy. It's football season. Hawks by a touchdown, right? Hawks minus
Coach,
6.5.
what season is it?
It is football season, okay?
Wait, Coach, one more time. What football season is it?
It's college football season and it's pro football season. Somehow the NBA's in there somewhere. I don't know.
Look, I can't argue. Look, if I was going to play this game tonight, I'm going to lay it with the Hawks. But I'm not. I'm on the under 221.5. I mean, Nets are devoid of any stars, which is kind of crazy to think, this they opened up the season just 2 years ago with Harden, KD, and Kyrie. Poorly mismanaged talent, right? Then one star they did have, Mikal Bridges. He goes over the bridge into Manhattan, joins the Nova squad in the Knicks. For Atlanta, the everyone hates Trae Young show just continues. DeJounte Murray gone. Don't understand that move. Actually kind of shocked. Atlanta was a top 5 scoring team last year, averaging 118 points per game. I think they struggled to start the season. Nets average defensively, trash on offense. I expect both teams to struggle scoring tonight, so I am on the under. And Coach has already stated, it's football season.
It is. Hawks by a touchdown.
All right, Coach. Coach, I'll see you back here tonight when we do player performance.
Yes,
NFL football.
Sounds good. See you then.
Orlando Magic at the Miami Heat. The Heat are laying 2.5. Actually, this one's down to 1.5. The total's at 208.5. This, of course, is going to be a game that I'm going to be at. I'll be in the Orchard Lounge. Shark, you're fading my Heat. Make it make sense.
Yeah, big opener here tonight in Miami. In-state rivalry in this division, the Southeast. Taking Orlando at plus 1.5. And, when I started to look at this is really a continued buy low on the Magic. Having gone 47-35 last year, I think to the surprise of many, but a really good upside young core for this team, who I think is going nowhere but up this season. And I think really specifically honing into how these teams play early season. Orlando last year did actually start 14-5 straight up. So they'd come out of training camp ready to go. And J.A., as a Heat fan, I'm sure you know, Miami Heat in this Jimmy Butler era do not bring their big Game 7 energy in the first couple weeks of the season. Started last year 1-4 straight up. The previous year 2-5 straight up. And you do get a buy low in this matchup. Last year, Miami did go 3-1 against the Magic. They did blow out Orlando at the Casillas Center on February 6th, the last time these teams played, by almost 30 points as a 3.5-point favorite. Now books see that blowout, move the line down to 1.5. It's everything I just said. You want to buy the young Magic early season, fade the Heat, buy the Magic tonight at plus 1.5. Catch this one.
Yeah, I was actually big on that Heat play the last time they played at Kaseya. Of course, I was in the building. Look, everyone's buying stock on this Orlando Magic team, but I don't see it. Orlando has covered 55 of last 89. True, but most of that was as a dog, a pretty sizable dog. See, this is going to be a short number tonight, and Heat are 7-3 last 10 head to head. This is just a good matchup for Miami, at least in my opinion. Now you're going to get Rozier all off season with the Heat. You get Jaime is going to be much better. Jovic is going to be a fucking beast. Not just as a Heat fan, but I just don't feel that. Well, at least I feel this more so about Miami. I just think the Heat are a sleeper in the East this year. Now, I did bet the under in this game, but that's pretty much on autopilot. Magic, Heat, equal under. Both among the lowest scoring teams in the NBA. Both top 4 defenses. Both teams play methodically, slow paced. He likes the Magic. You can lock him in. I'm officially on the under in this spot. But Shark, I'm telling you, watch the Heat this season. Jaime is going to be a beast. Jovic, beast. Terry Rozier in this offense, controlling this offense. And you know what more Terry Rozier means? Less Tyler Hero. The Hornets travel to Houston to take on the Rockets. Houston's laying 6.5. Total is at 229.5. Now, this is supposed to be the year, right? This is the season for H-Town. Both coach and roster talent all there in a position to make a push in the West. Certainly at least a fringe playoff team. Luke, which of these young stars tonight are you targeting?
Yeah, I mean, you said it first. I think that everybody knows Houston's up and coming. They were the hottest team to end the year last year as they sputtered out right around the play-in tournament contention. But they had a winning streak of 11 games in a row. That's tied with the Celtics for best last season. They won 13 of 14 at one point. How can you not be high on some of these youngsters? And I am taking Jabari Smith to go over his points line tonight. It's at 12.5. He's in his third NBA season out of Auburn. Last year, he put up 13.7 points per game. I truly don't see a trajectory where he doesn't move up. His opportunity is going to increase. He's more confident, and he's facing a really bad Hornets team tonight. Look at they don't even have Mark Williams, their big guy in the middle to defend. I think it's going to be a wide open floor. I think Jabari Smith's going to take advantage. And then one last stat point for you. Last year, he loved playing at home. His splits jumped up to 15 plus points per game at home. And his one time he faced the Hornets, he put up 17. I had his line projected at about 13.5, 14.5. Love the 12.5. Take the over. Thank me later.
I'm actually on an over as well, but I am on the over in the full game. I'm on over 229.5. Houston made a 19-game improvement last season compared to 2022-2023 season. Charlotte, of course, defense optional. Hornets gave up nearly 117 points a game. Getting Melo back, that does help the offense, but does zero for the defense. The over hit in 8 of Houston's last 9. They scored 116 or more in their last 5 last year. Also, in last 3 preseason games, expect points from Charlotte, expect points from Houston. I am on the over, and Luke is on Jabari's over.
Smith over.
The Bulls at New Orleans. Pelicans laying 6.5. Total here at 225.5. This for me is one of the more intriguing games, but of course, Trey Murphy out, Zion, Alvarado, DeJounte Murray, all game time decisions. Bulls come in pretty healthy. Interested in seeing what the Bulls team looks like without DeRozan. Zach LaVine, of course, still on the roster, but that's more because nobody fucking wanted him. You have a bold take on this game, Junior. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's their team total under. It goes back to something I learned last night from watching the games, and it's my favorite word in the beginning of the season. I might overuse it, so just check me if I do. Continuity. All the teams that have continuity are going to perform better because they're not trying to learn anything new. They're trying to improve upon what they already have. And I think that's the case for the Pelicans. They had a similar situation with Brandon Ingram that they had with Zach LaVine where nobody wanted him. So I think B.I. is going to come out with something to prove. Zion's looking skinny. And this is a team whose identity is through defense. So I look for them to improve upon that. On the flip side, Chicago still has a lot of moving pieces. Who's the new guy in charge? We know Zach LaVine's going to try to step into that role. Kobe White did a really good job. But DeMar DeRozan is one of the most elite closers in this league, which is why Chicago played the most clutch games in the league last year. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think they're a team trending down. So my official play is the under Chicago Bulls team total. I believe you guys have it at 109.5.
Well, I hope you're right. I mean, we're pretty much in lockstep. Now, not exactly on the same play, but the play is absolutely correlated because I'm on the game under 225 and a half. Both of these rosters got overhauled, but the Pelicans are closer to making a run. Add DeJounte Murray to the lineup, that includes already 3 20-point scorers. You're talking about Zion, Ingram, McCollum, and now DeJounte Murray. New Orleans
Right.
was also one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, and more so against the three. The Pels held 5 of their last 6 opponents to 110 points or less. 5 of their last 6 games went under. That'll carry over to tonight. And look, we all know everything the Pels do starts on the defensive end of the court. Junior's Bulls team total under. I am on the full game under. So we are in lockstep. Let's go. Let's have a big night tonight, Junior. So Memphis at Utah. The Grizzlies are laying 3.5. The total is at 227.5. It wouldn't be the NBA if the Grizzlies injury report did not look exactly like this. Jaren Jackson Jr., Gigi Jackson, Luke Kennard, Vince Williams, all out. But Ja is back. Now, this is one of the harder games to handicap, at least for me. You have to throw out everything that Memphis did last year. But, Shark, you have a play in this game. Who do you like? Why do you like them?
Yeah, we're taking the over here at 227.5, 228 now in most markets, and that is perfectly fine. And, you said it. So many moving parts last year. John Morant, flailing guns in nightclubs, suspended, injured. Who knows if that was karma, whatever it was. But he's back. And take Triple J off the roster tonight. He's their best defensive player. He's their cog in the middle. He slows down the pace. This is going to pace up. And that's why I'm on the over. Utah is a bottom 28th defensive rating in the league, top 5 pace. And you really look at the Utah roster, when they get out at the Delta Center, they want to run. This is a young roster, all shooters. Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Keontae George, amongst others. And even their bigs are shooters. Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler. And you really start to look at what happened last year. The only game played at the Delta Center last year with a similar kind of grease fire roster for Memphis, 133 to 109. And now the line is skyrocketing up from 220 to 229. I think this will be 235 plus. This really is early season basketball. It's not game 7 defense. It'll be wide open. Take the over in this one tonight.
I concur, although I'm not on the over itself. I actually like the Jazz over 113.5. Memphis was a team in disarray last year. Zach Edey should make a little bit of a difference. But again, Jaren Jackson Jr. out. That's going to open up the floor for the Jazz, who were a top 10 offense last year. They scored 125 plus against Memphis twice last season. Both those games early in the season. Now, I mentioned that, as Shark mentioned that, because the Grizzlies were about at full of strength as they were all of last year at the beginning of the season. And at least one of these games, the Grizzlies had all their suspects in. So in this game, I see more of the same. He is on the over from the game. I am on the Jazz team total over. I think we sweep the board in this one. Shark, let's go. Suns versus the Clippers. Suns laying 4.5. The total here is at 224. Now, I have a player prop in this, Junior. You give him what you want, and then I'll go after you.
Yeah, I got Suns -4.5, and I don't love laying points on the road to start a season. So this is really just, it's more of a fade of the Clippers than me backing up the Suns. The Clippers are going in the wrong direction. Every time you turn around, they got another superstar that can't play, whether it's Paul George leaving or Kawhi, stealing money from them to sit in street clothes. I mean, he might have to take Anthony Davis's nickname of street clothes because at least Anthony Davis plays these days. But sticking to the game at hand, I think the Suns are a team that's going to be highly motivated. Coach Bud, if there's anything he knows how to do, it's win regular season games. I think he's top 5 all time in regular season win percentage. And the fact that he's had this team for a full training camp to get back to work, Devin Booker coming off the high of the Olympics, I just think that one team is motivated to do better, and they still almost won 50 games on an off year. So I think that they're going to want to start off on the right foot, considering the way they started off last year. I don't know anything about the Clippers other than they're worse than they were last year.
So now I can't argue with success, and Junior is nothing if not successful. I'm actually on James Harden, PA, over 32.5 points and assists. The big three for the Suns is healthy, right? But Kawhi Leonard is out. He's out indefinitely. So no Leonard, no Paul George, no Westbrook. That means the beard. He's going to have to take the lion's share. He's going to have to step up for the Clippers. And this brings him back to his Houston days. And I actually think that he feels better in this role. He also came into the season saying that he felt better than he had in 7 years. I also believe he's going to thrive on being the man. Not just tonight, I think this season. The Clippers get the best of the beard and probably still lose this game, but James Harden's going to go off. Give me Harden's points and assists over 32.5. Junior is on the Suns laying 4.5. Looking for another 2-0 here on this game. Maybe put together a nice little SGP. So the Golden State Warriors travel to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Warriors are laying 5. The total here is at 221.5. Luke Shuey, the prop master, starts making money in the NFL. Then he comes to me, hey, boss, listen, I'm even better in the NBA. My response, of course, is a responsible response, right? Because I put my audience, my community first at all times. Luke, you're a white kid from Wisconsin. What the fuck could you possibly know about basketball? And he started naming all of the late, great Badgers. Luke, who do you have in this game?
Too good, man. Hey, nerds can ball out in betting. That's why there's betting. We're not good at playing this sport, so why can't we bet it? So yeah, I'm actually on the Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga here. I like a combo stat line. So if you guys, most sports books, you should be able to get the points, rebounds, and assists combined. His line's at 24.5 tonight. I love him to go over here, and let me just give you a couple reasons why. There's no more Klay Thompson. There's no Splash Brothers. Someone's got to pick up the slack. I think Kuminga's that guy. I don't know if you saw recently, he's been cocky in the public eye, saying that he's the next Kawhi Leonard, he's the next Pascal Siakam. Is he going to be? I think there's only one way to find out. His opportunity share is going to increase. His minute share is going to increase. I just like him to be all over the court. He's athletic. He can score. He can defend. He kind of does it all. So why not? Let's back him. Jonathan Kuminga over 24.5 PRA, points, rebounds, assists. Lock it in. You heard it here first. I do love the NBA. 5-1 last night. What can you say about it?
Well, I mean, Kawhi Leonard is no longer Kawhi Leonard, right? I'm actually on the under in this game. I am on the under 221.5. Portland's offense was garbage last season. 6 of the last 8 games went under. All 4 of their preseason games finished under this number. The Warriors are built on defense, right? And should be better this year, but they're going to be better on that end of the floor. Historically, these two teams also trend under. 8 of the last 12 games head-to-head have all gone under. This one also goes under. He's on Kuminga's PRA. I am on the under in this spot. 2-0 night. Luke Shuey, J.A. Cavalier.
Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, keep rolling.
All right, this has been the NBA for Wednesday night, October 23rd. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow as we break down the entire NBA slate. Be sure to get to ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSE.com. Free pick, stats, trends, scores, odds, and more. You want to get involved with the NBA? I am the NBA king. I don't lose in the NBA. We're going to hit 60+%. Link in the description below. I'm going to drop a package, a special offer for you guys here on Player Performance. We're going to see you guys back here. But until then, remember this. Yesterday is a memory. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. You're here today. Make it count.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my